say thank you for joining me here. I focus on Liberia. As you are aware, I'm Anthony Sie. Welcome, and a very big thank you to those of you who have already share in every chat room that you are a member of. And let's get to this conversation. I think the CPP has set a very bad example in the handling of the case involving Mo Ali, the former Secretary General of the Unity Party and the Liberian government. And I'm here for us to talk about this. And my goal here is to be able to provide an analysis that will point to how the CPP handling of that case set another bad example. And the CPP actually disappointed me greatly as an individual. And I believe some Liberians do share that very disappointment that I have experienced right now. They did not handle this case of Mo Ali in a very responsible way. You know, the way I expected for the opposition that should be the alternative to project that alternative that the CPP actually needs to be so that Liberians around the world can be able to put their trust and confidence in the opposition CPP. You know, this is just one of the reasons why there are many people that feel that there might have to be many options. Many people need to come to the play. We are looking for leadership in our country, and for the CPP to be the one, a good number of Liberians accurately are looking up to for leadership. And so, with this expectation that it will be up to not only do more of the same, but that there will be an example, the CPP has not in any way, shape, or form been that very good example. And I want to talk to you about that. So let's get started, and let me not, romanticize with this topic. Let's get to it. So, how did this all start? You may be wondering. Let me refresh your memory that it all started with a Facebook post from Mo Ali. Mo Ali is the former Secretary General of the Unity Party. He is a big member in now the opposition CPP. He wrote on Facebook, and let me bring you his post, what he said that brought about this noise that we are seeing today in Liberia. Here is the Facebook post by Mo Ali. Dear National Elections Commission, we understand the plot, but try it and you will see what's gonna be the end result. This is the post that Mo Ali posted somewhere around the first, second to the 5th of May, and that was his Facebook post that they know the plot, meaning they know the plan, they know the game that the National Election Commission is playing. Now, what was he speaking to? Mo Ali was speaking about Bernie Samukai. If you are not aware, Bernie Samukai won the Lofa County election, and he has not been certificated as the winner because of a court case that have been going up against him. For some reason, they have been back and forth as to whether he should be certificated as the winner, and Bernie Samukai having to be the candidate of the opposition or CPP. So he won that election. Others have been certificated. He has not been certificated because of their case against him. Their case had gone to the Supreme Court. There was ruling here and there. But Mo Ali is making the point that the NEC, the National Election Commission, is playing games, all right, with the election of Bernie Samukai. The man should have been certificated. The man won, fair and square in Lofa County. So why it said that the election commission is not certificating this man for him to be able to take seat? The election commission has not been able to certificate this man because there are influences quite clearly from the the executive branch of government. There were times that a letter was issued to that effect that his certification should be put on hold, even though the National Election Commission had notified Brandon Samonka at some point or to make himself available for him to be certificated as the winner of the Lofa County senatorial race. So this is a CPP that is not happy with that which has been going on. The citizens of Lofa County have elected this man, and now there is a court ruling that's saying, hey, you have to pay the money that is in question, and if you don't pay that money, you will go to jail. That is the court ruling. The court did not rule that this man, because he is guilty of some form of crimes, so he should not be certificated. That is not what the court is saying. But officials in the government, we understand through the Solicitor General, is saying, no, this man has committed felony against the country. And the question many legal minds are asking is there a law in Liberia that forbids one from taking office should the person commit a felony? Did he actually commit a felony? So, but leaving the legal wrangling aside, Mo Ali felt that the National Election Commission was not proceeding rightly because the court did not issue any ruling preventing or stopping that ballot from certificating Brandon Samonka. It is the National Election Commission that is backpedaling on a decision to certificate Brandon Samonka that is bringing this level of complete chaos, as I want to pull it, because how could the National Election Commission have notified this man for him to show up for certification, and because from an influence from the executive branch of government decide not to certificate the man? They have been back and forth as to whether they want to do it or whether they don't want to do it. So quite clearly, we have seen that folks in the executive branch of government are saying the man cannot be certificated. And the question is, for what? Because of the case against him. Even though the Supreme Court, from my understanding and followers, have not given any ruling stopping the man from occupying the position for which he was elected. But fast forward, Mo Ali now look at it, he said, look, I think the National Election Commission here is the problem. You conducted an election in which the man won. There is no law that stops this man from taking office, that stops you from certificating the man. But now you are now just listening to some members from the executive branch that don't have the power to stop this, and then you are listening to them. So he wrote this post and saying, dear National Election Commission, we understand the flaw, but try it and you will see what is going to be the end result. A week later, there was an attack, violence perpetrated by some individuals against the offices of the National Election Commission, where a portion of the place was set on fire. Vehicles were burned to ashes at the National Election Commission. And before I continue, let me, on behalf of Focus on Liberia, use the opportunity to condemn the actions of those Liberians who took the law into their own hands, marched to the National Election Commission, and threw petrol bombs, thereby setting the place on fire and also burning some vehicles at the National Election Commission. That violence was uncalled for and it's unacceptable, and Liberians should not be engaging in these kind of lawless acts. We cannot and should not encourage this kind of behavior. So fast forward, Mo Ali wrote this post. And when they security apparatus decided to find answers to this violence being carried out by some Liberians. For some reason, felt that their post of More Ali is somehow linked to the violence that was carried on against the National Election Commission. But let me remind you, prior to even More Ali making their post, there were few petrol bombs being through some areas. One of the places is the Associate Justice Onamwe. There was petrol bomb, we understand also, that was thrown at his house. So this action by some Liberians, it is something that we all must be able to condemn. And so the question is it this post that the security apparatus is looking at to say, oh, it is this post that those that carry on the action might have listened to, or is it the post that they are acting on? But in their wisdom, they felt that More Ali needed to be invited to be asked some questions, because he is saying, we understand the Plot National Election Commission, but try it and you will see what's going to be the end result. And so the security folks is looking at it, so okay, this guy said something about National Election Commission that there was going to be some form of result because of the plot, and now boom, we have petrol bombs being thrown at the National Election Commission, leading to the destruction of property at that agency of government. And so this guy needs to be investigated. Now, this is it. Whether or not there is no connection whatsoever, in my judgment, the security apparatus has the right to call on any Liberian to ask them questions, because he has addressed the National Election Commission in his Facebook post. And now there is an action, violence action against the National Election Commission that led to the burning of vehicles in some portion of the premises. And so it is in their right to have invited him to ask him questions. They didn't go to arrest him arbitrarily. They have invited him to be asked some questions. What is wrong with a citizen being invited? After all, he posted on Facebook warning the National Election Commission of an end result based on what he classified as a ploy being carried out by the NEC in denying Brandon Samunka from being certificated. The question is, do you think the National Election Commission, do you think the Liberian National Police who have invited More Ali, have More Ali narrating their Facebook post being addressed to the National Election Commission and also warning them of some consequences as a result of what he classified as a ploy? Do you think More Ali, who have been invited, had he not written this post? If More Ali had not written this post, of course, he would not have been invited. I did not write a post like that, so they have not invited me. You did not write any post of such, talking about the National Election Commission and talking about a consequence thereof, so they did not invite you. They didn't invite Honorable Cummings. They didn't invite Yeke Koloba. They didn't invite any of the leaders or anybody in the opposition CPP, because nobody other than More Ali wrote a Facebook post warning them and a consequence thereof. And so it was in the right of the Liberian National Police to have invited him. What was the honorable thing or the most appropriate thing, in your opinion, the police should have done? Arrest him, put him in jail arbitrarily, or to have invited him to ask him what he meant? Amen. Look, I know the sentiments on both sides of the political divide. And we Liberians have to get out of this attitude of injecting our sentiments because of political reasons, and we don't want to look at what the facts are. Had this man not written this post, the Liberia National Police would not have invited him. But some of you who are in the CPP don't see this at all. What's wrong with the man being invited? Nothing wrong with that. Let Mo Ali, who in his good conscience believed that what he said is the exercise of his free speech, and if he convinced of his statement not being of something that incites violence, show up and tell them what you said and that you did not intend to cite violence or call any group of people to action against the National Election Commission. Go and say that, and let us see what would be the police action. And if the police action in your judgment is a violation of your free speech, get a lawyer. This is the right thing to do. But let me come now to my main topic, which is the bad example set by leaders of the opposition CPP. How should the CPP as an institution handle this issue? In my opinion, they should have encouraged Mo Ali to go. First of all, let me also establish that Mo Ali had contacted a lawyer. The lawyer was in conversation with the Liberian National Police. I don't want to bore you with the back and forth that he's supposed to show up, he was on his way, and then later on he did not show up. I don't want to bore you with that. That is history now. But maybe we should question, why did his lawyer inform the police that he was on his way and didn't go? It is right. But the point I'm making is, to his credit, he had gotten a lawyer. So the lawyer was in touch with the Liberian National Police. He could talk through his lawyer. And his lawyer had negotiated with the police that were, instead of showing up earlier than they wanted him, they will show up Monday, which is today. I think the CPP as an institution should have worked along with the lawyer of Mo Ali for the lawyer to show up at the Liberia National Police headquarters with Mo Ali, for them to hear what the police gonna say, or to see what the police will have done or will do. That is what they should have done. Instead, they have injected politics of you versus us. This is what I see here. And guess what happened, folks? Nyomli Kanka Lawrence, Elizana Belande Cummings, Jose Yuma Boaka, Benny Nai Ure, Darius DeLong, Yeke Koluba, all the prominent leaders in the CPP, all of them have to follow Mo Ali for an invitation from the Liberian National Police, as though Mo Ali does not have a lawyer. I know somebody may make the argument and say, oh, I mean, they are Liberian citizen too. It's their right to decide to follow the man. The question I'm asking is, what example does that set? These are leaders. Are you saying that, because the example they are setting here is that if I am from Nikrutan, as you know, I'm actually from there, and let's say I said something and the police want to question me, I should get my governor, I should get all the members of the organization I'm in, everybody from Imaya, and we should all go to the Liberian National Police, right? These are leaders. These are the people who are opting to take over state power. These are the people who will claim that they respect the rule of law. That is just unfortunate. Josiah Numa Boakar now is the elder statesman. He's been in government for what? 42 years. He is the elder in the group. Can he not just take a phone and inquire from the police director what is going on? Could he not even get assurances from the police director? Hey, I see that you are inviting Mo Ali. I will make sure that he shows up. Just make sure you treat him with respect as a citizen, because you have not charged him yet. So I understand he has not committed any crime. There's a violence that being carried on here. He wrote a Facebook post. He warned of the necessary consequences of a plot that he saw. But Joseph Yema Boakar would not even use that means. But he would join the likes of DeLong. He would join the likes of Nyomli, Cummings, and Ure, and all the leaders, as though in Liberia we don't have serious matters. And all of them march to the police headquarters just because Mo Ali has been invited. Seriously? Seriously. This is the kind of matter that will bring all the leaders in the opposition together? Are these people really serious? Oh, Lord. Our country is in trouble. Leaders don't know what is important anymore. This is you versus us politics. It's not going to get us anywhere. Nowhere. What kind of bad example is this? Is this, how long are they going to continue doing this? How long? Anytime anybody in the opposition is being invited by the police, they will all put together and go there. Is that what they're going to do? I wish they are all put together when Achi Pompon has set himself on fire for them to go to the hospital to visit him. Did you see that? Did you see all those leaders put together? When a member of your party, when a member of your group, a member of your family has said something that borders on security, it is the right of the security apparatus to invite that person. You have to follow the law. What they went there for? To prevent Mo Ali from possible arrest? Is that what it is? These people don't have something serious to do in the country. They told us they're going to select their candidate for 2023. Why they can't go to get together now and start talking about the consensus? This is a simple matter. Mo Ali shows up. He already has a lawyer, and work with him through his lawyer. And Boakar, who is the elder statesman, will form a team with these people, and they will all show up at the Liberia National Police, making the citizens of Liberia to follow them. And Yaka Koluba talking about the militant of the CPP. This useless militancy has not taken Liberia anywhere. And so for folks who are claiming to be the alternative, a Boakar who was in government for the past 12 years and left Liberia with a bad economy, to be projecting himself that the only solution he can be able to provide now is to put the law, Cummings, and Ure together to go to police headquarters to demand a release. The man has not been arrested. Little people are being arrested all the time in Liberia. When was the last time you saw them going there to question the police from some arrests that have been made in the country? All they do is just protect their own. It's not going to get us anywhere. This statement that was made by Mo Ali, the police has all right to be able to invite him. They didn't just get her to invite him. He the one wrote a Facebook post that we know the plot of the National Election Commission and that they're going to see the end result. And just about that time, there was violence perpetrated against the National Election Commission. Cars worth around 75,000 got burned. And you think the police does not have the right to invite him? If he has not written a Facebook post, he will not have been invited. Can the CPP elite do the same thing when they arrest a Zogo? At least for Mo Ali, he has not been arrested. It's just an invitation for clarification that the police need. Anytime they they arrest a Zogo, do you see these CPP people getting together to go there? Look, you can't set a different standard for certain people, and then for certain people, the standard is different, and you want us to count on you for leadership. If you are a leader, you must be fair. Anytime a Zogo being arrested or just about any ordinary citizen being arrested by the police, do you see these people going there to demand the person released? They don't do that because they know that is not proper for them to do. The police, the security have all right to arrest anybody. And if you have a question, you contact a lawyer and speak through the lawyer to get the facts to find out whether or not the police is right for arresting such person. That is what you would do. So if you can go to the police headquarters with all the leaders in the CPP, because Mola Alina is your guy, then how are you fair? What kind of leadership are you providing when you do not show up to that very police or headquarters when they arrest, for example, a Zogo or any other Liberian? If you don't show up there, how does it make you to look? Do you really look like the leader you are projecting yourself to be here? Of course not. So when I'm trying to tell you that these people are setting bad example, I hope you just see it clearly for yourself. Is the CPP telling me that should they win election tomorrow and somebody just get up and say something that bolos on security, and as a result of the person's statement, there is a direct link to whatever the person might have said or threatened, that person should not be called for questioning? So anybody should just say anything in the country, whether or not what the person said has some connection or link. The police should not have the right to question that person. Amen. Because you are not in government. So the police should not be able to act. When somebody makes a statement that has some security implication, they should not invite the person for questioning. They did not arrest him. They informed him, we want you to come. You wrote the Facebook post. As a result of your post, or just about the same time you make the post, the National Election Commission cars that were set ablaze. Can you come and say something? Mo Ali could have gone say, oh yeah, I will come. My Facebook post, I didn't insult anybody. I'm not in contact with any group of people with petrol bombs. This is the reason I said the statement, and I didn't intend for any group of people to come here, or I did not instruct any group of people to come and set cars on fire at the National Election Commission. That is not my intention. And let us see whether the police will say, no, I think we're going to arrest you. You are a suspect. Even at that, when they should arresting a suspect, the best the leaders of the CPP supposed to do is get a lawyer and try to see whether the police have any good grounds for inviting him first, and should he be arrested subsequently, whether or not they are, arresting him on grounds that are legal. All of them got together and went to the Liberian National Police headquarters. Do you know what he's trying to do? It's almost like trying to prevent the police to carry on their questioning. That is tantamount to the obstruction of justice. Come to think about it, those of you who are here in the US, it's like the security here or the police in your state, somebody says something inflammatory that bothers on security, and the police decide to call the person for questioning. And then you say, oh, all the people in the state, should follow. When was the last time you see that happening? Or is that Joe Biden is in power now? Somebody threatened, there will be consequences on the convoy of Joe Biden, and maybe 2 days later, something similar happened. And the FBI say, oh, we're calling the person for questioning. And then Donald Trump and all the leaders of the Republican Party say, we'll go into the FBI headquarters. This is what it is. This is what exactly it is. And this is the CPP we should trust. And to Cummings, who has the big saying, we can't be doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. Cummings, the behavior that was exhibited by you and the other leaders has been the behavior exhibited by CDC when CDC was in opposition. Anytime the citizens carry on some form of violence or protest, and whenever they were taken to the police headquarters, you will see all the leaders will follow. The videos are still around. When Mama Molu was, a call, you will see everybody will show up demanding the release of that individual. Folks, we have to use the law. There's a reason why we have lawyers in any country. In the jurisprudence, we have lawyers. So for the CPP, the group that want to, take over from President George Manawia, to be able to give up what they consider as the rule of law, to more like be taking matter into their own hands, is just completely unfortunate. Joseph Yamabwaka has disappointed me greatly. Out of the state, man, been around for so long, and you will bow to this nonsense following DeLong. DeLong, this is his playbook. He knows this thing, playing on sentiments and all that, just to accrue the political dividend. So Joseph Yamabwaka, who claims he been around, DeLong has been in this reactionary politics, who said this, generate interest, pop on people's emotion, and then you will see the crowd will follow you. Joseph Yamabwaka wants to be president now. So instead of telling Nyomli and DeLong and Cummings and Ure how to behave responsibly, they join the noisemakers. They join the likes of Yeke Kalaba. What a disappointment. Making a thing to look so big. There are Liberians that are hungry right now. There are a lot of issues in the country. These opposition people don't even have a website, the CPP. They don't have a website. CPP, no website. We don't know their plans. Election is barely 2 years away. We do not know their plan. They have not come to the Liberian people to tell us how they will govern differently. on the economy, on agriculture, nothing. Instead of taking their time and energy to find people and professionals in these areas to draft plans, put the plans on their website and go around explaining how they will govern differently. You know what they're doing? They're doing the usual thing that Yeka Koloba will do. Insult, make noise, and the folks, the young people who are angry about the situation in the country, and they will come around. That is why your Joseph Boakai, he 42 years in government, that's the experience there. Cummings, you can't be doing the same thing over and over and expect different result. This is why CDC did for the past 12, during the 12 years they were in opposition. Whenever there was an invite or an arrest, they all put together, the march to the police headquarters and cause noise. We will not leave until the person is released. Get a lawyer, fight the case through your lawyer, challenge the legal system. Whether or not, in your opinion, is fair, that is the right thing to do. That is what Bronski did. Bronski was a very good example. Whenever he was disqualified, whether or not you agree with the substance of the disagreement, but he took it to the court. I don't remember Bronski putting a bunch of Liberty Party folks together to go to the police headquarters or to go to the Supreme Court and making noise that this will happen now. Bronski did not do that. And so DeLong, who claimed, Nyomli Kanka, who claimed also to be members from the Liberty Party, to join this noise-making and useless agitation and use for all kind of politics to show up to police headquarters just because Mo Ali is being invited. I can just imagine if he was arrested and thrown into jail, what would they have done? I know they were just marched to the police headquarters and what? Instruct their supporters maybe to throw stones or do what? And force him out of jail? And these are the people that want Liberians people to be able to elect them. We have been making the noise politics. This politics of agitation, the reactionary tendency in our politics, it has not gotten us anywhere. We need a politics that is mature, that is structural, where leaders use the law through their lawyers to fight issues that borrow on security of law and not taking matter into their own hands. That is basically what they did. All of them put together, went to the police headquarters. What do you think they were trying to do? They were trying to intimidate the police, trying to stop the police from carrying on an investigation of the questioning. That was it, nothing else. And I'm saying to you, that is unfortunate. That is not the right way to go. Some people are going to justify here to say, oh, they're trying to stop Mo Ali from exercising. He wrote a post saying, oh, come and explain what your post is all about. That's all. He didn't say you should not have written your post and put it on Facebook so we're going to arrest you and throw you behind bars. That was not the case, or that is not the case. Come and explain what you wrote. You wrote this thing, and then there's an action against the National Election Commission. Petrol bonds have been around for so long. There is something called coincidence. He wrote a Facebook post. There's a probability that some group of people have planned to do this. And just about the same time, he made the Facebook post. And so it happened. Go and make that clarification. We also know there are some people who are not happy with their Bernie Samuka being certificated. There are Bernie Samuka supporters out there. The last time we saw folks are raising money to pay back the money because they want Bernie Samuka to take seats. We saw that the National Election Commission have sent a communication that he should come up for certification, and later on it was aborted. Any group of people can get frustrated and go and carry on their action just about the same time he wrote this post. He could have gone to clarify it. He could have done that through his lawyer, the way he has started it. So what this foolishness about DeLong, Nyomli, Cummings, maybe who should be a little bit different, who spent all the years in the U.S. in the corporate world. In the corporate world, when somebody, something that borders on legality, A company will find a lawyer. Most companies have lawyers. They will use their lawyers to fight the case. You will not see the CEO of the company along with other CEOs in the company showing up to police headquarters just because somebody is being called for questioning. They use their lawyers. Cummings, you don't know that? This is your usual saying we can't be doing the same thing over and over and get different results? Do you don't know the meaning of those words that you utter every time you have the opportunity to speak? And you joining this bandwagon of youth for say us politics? Seriously, Cummings? And then Ure and all will join this nonsense. Ure was in the Charles Taylor's government. I was in Liberia. And Ure knows very well during Charles Taylor time, Joe Taylor will arrest anybody, not even invite anybody for questioning. And Joe Taylor will arrest anybody and take you to the National Police headquarters and jail you. He was in that government. Did he utter a war? No. Ure did not say anything. He was collecting the biggest check of all at Maritime. That's what he was doing. When Joe Taylor was arresting people, when the SOD was just beating people up and down in the street, Benin and Ure did not utter a word. At least the Georgia police just invited this man for a reason. He wrote a Facebook post warning the National Election Commission of an end result as a result of what he claims is a plot by them. And just about that time, something happened. So the police had all right to call him. Benin and Ure, do you not know what was happening in the Charles Taylor government that you work? Did you even utter a word when Liberians were being arrested, arbitrarily flogged in the streets and thrown into prison by the Joe Taylor SOD, even the SSS? And Charles Taylor anti-terrorist units? All these groups of security personnel in Liberia at the time who just arrest anybody. They were not only arresting you, they were flocking you. They were throwing you in a car. They were taking you to the police headquarters. You were going into jail, period. Burning, what is his name? Ure, did you utter a word? No, he did not utter a word. And today you say you have muscles. This man is just being invited. You talk to the man lawyer, the man lawyer representing him. The lawyer follow him, and you people can just stand by and see what will happen. And all of you gather, youth in the country follow you people, showing them violence, showing them bad example. The example you said today is that when the Liberian police invite somebody for questioning, they should not go. Or before they go, they must put all their family, their kinsmen, the football club, everybody must go to the police headquarters. That is the example that you have set. You should be there to tell these people that yes, the police has just invited him. Let him go there with a lawyer. Let's hear what the police will say. If the police arrest him, then we will use the lawyer and ask why they think they needed to arrest him. What crime has he committed? So for Ure to feel that he was in the moral place, that he has this righteous indignation to show up to the police headquarters because somebody has been invited for questioning, and to prevent that from happening, it's just preposterous and sad. And the DeLorean guy will go and talk about, I've been in the justice system for long and this, that. When they invite somebody for hearing, based on the statement or questioning. What is wrong with that? Is there a violation of the person's right? That is not a violation of the person's right. Go and answer the question. If you are arrested, then deal with the police. So what the CPP did today was unfortunate. A very bad example that they have set. What they have told their supporters today is that when you are invited by the police, don't go there. Wait for your man, wait for your pa, wait for all your brothers, and then all your family, and maybe your whole tribe, or your whole country, your superintendent, your representatives. Because just as for them, they are CPP people, they have Waka, they have Ure, they have Cummins, they have Nyomli, they have Dillon, or Moali has the people he can go with them. If an ordinary person is invited, he does not have these kind of people, and that person does not have those kind of people, then the person should call their senator, the person should call their representative, call their superintendent, call their clan chief, call their town chief, call their grandfather, and they should all go to the police headquarters. That is the example that they are setting. That example is wrong, it's unfortunate, and it's a terrible and bad example that they should not have set in the first place. These people can't even come up with a website, but they have the energy to go to police headquarters and waste Liberian people time. They are wrong. And Dillon is the light. Let me roll in this clip and let us hear from them a little bit, folks.
With the intent, political intent to arrest them. What they have demonstrated today is clearly being demonstrated that had war come here on Friday, they would have detained him, even though they said they were only inviting him for a conversation.
So what's happening in there that justify an investigation instead of a conversation?
That when you're asking questions and insisting that somebody should answer, and the person will only be represented by the lawyer and all that stuff, there is no longer a conversation. It is an investigation, it is an interrogation.
So you say if you are show up on Friday, you will have been
detained.
What about today? Don't you think you can still be detained from today?
They want to detain more, and all go in jail. More will go home with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You invite somebody for investigation or for a conversation, have a conversation. If you want to arrest him, bring the appropriate court warrant from the court, and then we'll file the appropriate bond if it is a bailable offense. That's how the respect for rule of law should be.
Even though you characterize the ongoing process in there as an investigation instead of a conversation, why, if the output of more justifies him being detained or incarcerated, why should you stop him from going?
No, you see, more is not a flat risk. He has not demonstrated as such. You can't invite me for conversation, an invitation for a conversation, and then you end it being an investigation for something that you did not initially inform him about. Under the law, they got something they call the doctrine of notice. Notice should be sufficient to prepare the person. Okay?
So, Mr. Senator, for all indication,
I'm not leaving. I keep.
Folks, all that Dillon is saying there makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. What sufficient notice is that? The police told Mo Ali, you've been invited for your Facebook post. Is this not sufficient? It is about your Facebook post. It's like, I saw your advertisement that you have the best fufu shop or cold shop on Broad Street. And then I call you. I want you to come to my place. I saw your advertisement about your fufu shop. I want to invest in that shop. Is that not sufficient? So all that thing he's saying are just nonsense. How is that a political intent? He's the one making politics out of these things. He needed not to go to the police headquarters. By he going there to the police headquarters as a senator, As a member of the opposition, he is putting politics in it. Let the police carry on a work. Let's see whether the police have done anything wrong. Then you, the law, now can use the lawyer and fight the case. He's being political. And why is he doing that? Because it will make him to look like the guy who is championing the cause of the Liberian people. Even though what he's doing is wrong, but because it appeals to the pain of those who are hurting, rightfully so by the government, he will get the political dividend. So old man Bwakatu, who been around now with John Lennox, said, wow, that DeLong picking, he made good noise and the man won. I want to win, so I will follow them. And there is your DeLong. Right here. This is a post. Mo Ali went home. Yeah, Mo Ali there, they told him. The toting man in the 21st century. Darius DeLong, the light. Those hungry citizens have to throw Mo Ali on his head. I remember when Eugene Fagon, when he came from jail, sedition had him on his head. Cummings, you sitting right there? The folks in the opposition have problem with that. We can't be doing this thing. Every time they're looking for hero. Liberia, let me say this today. No hero going to save Liberia. The things that we will do to develop our country, the programs that we'll carry on, those are the things that will give us the Liberia we want. So the idea of a hero, that's complete foolishness. Joshua was the hero of yesterday. Some people believe he's not the hero that they thought him to be. Charles Taylor was that hero. We saw how that ended. People celebrated Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Liberia does not even have electricity in just Monrovia before I'm talking about Liberia. 12 years they were in power, but she was celebrated. So the idea of celebrating people and putting them on their head in the 21st century because of foolishness is not going to get us there, folks. We have to stop this behavior, Liberians. If the CPP is serious about leadership in this country, let them show us their plans for Liberia. How they will change the economy, how they will improve agriculture, how they will improve the education system. The very United Party left with us, according to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, as messed. Joseph Yuma Bwaka squandered, according to him, they squandered all the opportunities. And he's coming back, and he's coming back with noise. This is not it. And Comey is the guy who's saying we can't be doing things over and over and expect different results, and doing the same thing that the CDC did. The same thing folks in the opposition continue to do. Making noise about things they should not make noise about. This is about legality. Get a lawyer. And here they are. Here Cummings right here. Here Mo Ali. Here Nyomli Kanka Lawrence. Le Benny Nayire. DeLong is in the back there. Bwaka is on the other side. All these leaders will go to the police headquarters. Imagine if folks in the CDC have done this. What would they say? Some of you who support the opposition, what would you have said? We all went after the government here when, quote unquote, Jefferson Koji, Kolita Crow, Tuba, that violence, we all went after the government and the folks in the government. But some of you will praise their action, celebrating them. And not because you want power now, any wrong thing, you should celebrate it. It's not going to give other Liberia that we want. Folks, I can't emphasize this enough. The CPP has set a very bad example. This is not the way to lead. They have a lot of serious problems. They want to lead Liberia. They don't have a plan for Liberia. They have been hanging around for going to 3 years now. We don't have their plan. They don't have a website. Their framework they put together, they release a photocopy according to them. They have not released the original copy to Liberians. We just don't know. All they want to do is make noise about little things. Is this your plan for Liberia? To stop police from doing a work? That's your plan for Liberia? This is unfortunate. Folks, let me read some of your comments. Let me read some of your comments. A lot of comments here. This one is from Michael. The president gave he's receiving from his people in Banga right now, not fun. No, this is not related to what we're saying. Those guys have failed. Is the symptom from the election result ever since has them beaten. Look, folks, when you're writing, please write this thing, Bellarmine. Raymond Oliver Hogarth. He is the Secretary General of the United Party, now former. My dear brother, thank you. But he is the former Secretary General. He is not. He is not. Right now, he is the former Secretary. Oh, he is the Secretary General, he said. All right. All right. Mo Ali is the Secretary General now. Okay, thank you. The CPP replicates corruption in Liberia. The man is a convicted criminal who shouldn't serve in the legislature, plain and simple. So what are Liberians living abroad doing to organize themselves and work with the foreign leaders to improve the situation in Liberia? We have Emmanuel Savage, Henry Costa, Anthony. I'm not Anthony, please. Get that straight. I'm not Anthony. Anthony C.A. and some other intellectuals and factors for development, justice, and accountability. The so-called Liberian National Police had no right to arrest Mo Ali on any harmless Facebook post. Mo has a right to freedom of speech. I agree. They didn't arrest him. They called him for questioning. So I don't know what you're talking about. If your government knew that he was a criminal, why allow him to contest the senatorial election? Why? The other government, I don't know what you're talking about. That's my government. That's your government. If you are a Liberian, that's your government, whether you voted for them or not. You people should stop siding wrong government and speak truth to power. That's why we keep having corrupt and murderer government. People don't want to speak the truth. People don't want to speak the truth. Nobody trusts your government. Too much injustice in the country. So CPP leaders did the right thing. Okay. You think Liberia is a country? Liberia is a mess, and CPP leaders, as the CPP leaders, were right for showing up in support of Mo Ali. Said they were right for showing up. Thomas, the police set a precedent for the appearance of those leaders. Their spokesman said Ali was wanted to be arrested. Okay, the person is making a case there. You have 2 young people killed from LRA, and the useless Liberian police have not arrested anybody, but you will go after Mo Ali for Facebook posts. I agree with you. I agree with you. Even the 3 missing boys. The 3 missing boys, the government is yet to tell the Liberian people anything, but they have all the energy to go after this man. No single arrest for the people that was killed, but I'm saying they have the right to invite him for questioning. They didn't arrest him. Freedom of speech, even if his statement is inflammatory. Yeah. Let me see what Saki White is here. Did you ever get upset when CDC did the same exact thing? He asking somebody a question. If he asking me a question, well, I don't know. In the corporate world, there isn't such prosecution. It's justifying for Cummings here. It's justifying for Cummings here. Let Cummings go and join them all the time. JJ, you are not on the ground, brother. It's practically a different ball game when on the ground. I agree. When you're not on the ground, it's different. But I know for sure, I agree with you. I agree with your commentary. 360, good job. Let's do. I don't know when you would disagree with me, man. When Joe Tay was arresting people for, I think, jaywalking, where were they? Somebody asking the question. That's the question I'm asking Yuri. Eh? Yuri, he said nothing. I'm watching from Sano Kante. Thank you for watching for Sano Kante. Sano Kante is my second country. I lived there for many years, and I attended the St. Joseph Catholic High School there in T.S. Town. It is well documented. The former defense minister is a convicted felon who is not in jail based on a stipulation his attorney negotiated with the court. He is not pardoned or given a clemency by the current president. The stipulation which agreed to which the courts with the courts which stated pay this money or fine or go to jail. It didn't say he wasn't a felon. Why are you, Sierra Leonean, Guinean, attempting to turn our country law into a joker? I think the point he's making is that the man's supposed to pay the money, and that's the agreement that he should pay the money. And that's what I know. I didn't see the Temple of Justice, the Supreme Court saying that he should not take seat. So I don't know why it's stopping him from taking seat. You have a EPS man killed by Joshua, and up to today, the useless police have not arrested anybody, but you will go after Mo Ali for a Facebook post. The thing I'm telling you people is that they just invited him. They didn't arrest him. Mo Ali has not been arrested. Now because the police did nothing uh, in other places, in your opinion, so they can't act now. I get it. Myself, I get the frustration that when you expect the police to act, they will not act. It shows that this police is more of a partisan police. But my point is that does not give anybody the right from stopping the police to invite somebody for questioning. And that is my point. And I hope you get that. Raymond Barack Denzel. In the corporate world, there isn't. Okay, I think I read this comment. Then this person say it again, buddy. All right, folks. I came here to do this for 1 hour, and I think I did that. And to those of you who agree with me, that is the essence, of democracy. We can all agree and disagree on the issue. I maintain my argument that the opposition CPP set a very bad example. The police has the right to invite Mo Ali, whether or not the police did nothing in previous cases. It is their right, just as it is Mo Ali's right to express himself. But if his expression borders on issues of security, and just about the time he made that statement against the National Election Commission and threatening of a possible end result, and just about that time there was this violence perpetrated against the National Election Commission. Cars got burned. They had the right to call him for questioning. Mo Ali, dear National Election Commission, we understand the plot or try it, and you will see what's going to be the end result. The National Election Commission tried that his plot. Bernie Samoka has not been certificated. What happened? We saw cars being set ablaze. I'm not saying that Mo Ali's statement led to that, but this is why he said, and something happened to the National Election Commission. That is why the police has all right to call him for questioning, and that is my point. And he now is going to explain himself whether or not he's not responsible for that. If the police arrest him, then I'm saying the CPP should be able to use a lawyer and fight the case and not gather all of them, Bwaka, Ure, Nyombli, Dillon, Yeke, Koluba, for all of them to go to the National Police Headquarters just because police has invited this man. Anytime they invite, they arrest a Zogo or anybody, do you see them doing that? Do you see them going to the National Police Headquarters? Do you see that? When somebody is arrested based on accusation or any allegation, any other citizen in Liberia, do you see these people going there? They're doing it because of politics. And what this man talk about, the police has the right to call him. So, folks, I want to say thank you for following us here at Focus on Liberia. And this is all I have for you. The song, We Are All Liberians, will take us home. Thank you and bye-bye.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia people. Either you raise it or we want. Liberia. Either you raise it or we want. Liberia, Liberia.